In this tutorial, we'll look at how to use a formula to find a slope between 2 points. We'll do this rather than using a graph. Let's imagine that we're given the points -1, 5, and 6, -3, and we're asked to find the slope between these 2 points, but we don't have a grid available to plot them and count the rise and the run. An alternative for us is to use a slope formula. Before we can use the slope formula, we need to recognize that each point is made up of 2 coordinates. There's an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate in each one of the points that we will be using. The problem is if we label x and y for one point and x and y for the other point, we're going to get confused about which x we're referring to and which y we're referring to. So we have a solution for this in math, and it's called a subscript. So what we do is we say this is the x-coordinate of point 1, and this is the y-coordinate of point 1. This is the x-coordinate of point 2, and this is the y-coordinate of point 2. Now let's look at the formula for the slope. When we first see this formula, it can look a little bit tricky. Sometimes people get confused that those little 1s and 2s are exponents, when in fact they're not. They're the subscripts that are just telling us which point the x value or the y value belongs to. Let's look at how we would go about substituting the points into this formula. When we look at the formula and see that the first item that we need is y2, we refer back to our little legend that we've created up top. We see that our y2 value, or the y value of the second point, is -3. So we'll replace the y2 with -3. Then from that, we have to subtract y1. Our first point has a y value of 5. So we'll put that y1 value into the rise portion of our slope. Then we'll need to find x2. x2 will be the first value in this second point. So we'll take the 6 and we'll place that in the x2 location of our formula. From that, we'll subtract x1, and we can see that that is -1. Now, I mentioned a little bit before that when we look at the top of this formula, we have the rise, and on the bottom, we'll have the run. This is known because the formula for slope is the same as rate of change. It's the rise over the run. We find the rise by taking away the y values from each other, and we find the run by subtracting the x values from one another. To finish up our slope calculation, we just have to be mindful of our integers. On the top, we have -3 subtract 5. That will give us -8 for the rise. For our run, we will have 6 subtract -1. We know that when we subtract a negative, we're going to change that to an addition sign. So this will be 6 plus 1 for our run, or 7. We leave our slopes in the form of fractions so that it's easy for us to identify the rise and the run. All right, so here's an example of this slope formula in action. We'll have x1 and y1 for the point 1, and x2, y2 for point 2. When we sub into our formula, we'll have m equals, and we need to find our y2 value. Our y2 value, as we have it labeled, is 6. So we will have 6 subtract, the subtracting is coming from the formula itself, and we need to find y1. y1 is going to be right here, so we'll be putting a 2 into that portion of the formula. On the bottom, we'll have x2, which is 3 in this case, and we will subtract from that x1. And our x1 value here is -3. I'm going to put that in brackets so that I can separate those double signs. When I go to my next step, though, I'm going to look at those double signs and I'm going to try to fix them up. We know that subtracting a negative is just like adding. So what this means we have is our slope, or our m value, is going to be 6 take away 2, which is 4 for our rise, and then 3 plus 3, which will be 6 for our run. We can simplify this to 2 over 3. And we always leave our slope as fractions because it makes it easier to count the rise and the run when we're plotting it on a graph. We'll start by labeling the points x1 and y1 so that we'll be able to substitute them easily into our equation. We have x2 and y2 for the second point and x1, y1 for the first point. So we will substitute those values in, knowing that y2 is going to be 2. From that, we will subtract, and we're subtracting because that's what the formula tells us to do. We need to subtract the y1 value, which is also 2. And then we will do our run. Our x2, which is what it's calling for here, will be 0. And from that, we will subtract our x1, which is -4 in this case. I put brackets around it just to separate those negative signs, but I know that the next thing I'm going to do is fix them up anyway. I'll change those two double signs into a positive. So in my next line, I'll have m equals, well, 2 take away 2 is going to give us 0, and we'll have a denominator of +4. Now, this is interesting to have a slope of 0, and if you think back to what you know about time-distance graphs, this means that when you have a rate of change of 0, there's no movement happening. Someone has stopped. You would get a flat line on your time-distance graph. When you find 0 for a slope, it means you're dealing with a horizontal line. There is no steepness to the line whatsoever, which makes it flat. So we would conclude that this line is horizontal. And we can prove it by quickly sketching the 2 points and plotting them on a graph. There you go, we see that they are in fact horizontal. For this example, let's work a little bit together to get you started. We'll begin by labeling the points. We know that the first point will be x1 and y1, and the second point will be x2 and y2. And now you need to use the formula in order to find the rest of the slope. Pause the video now and start it again when you have found the slope. Check your work and see how you did. You have to be very careful when you're using your slope formula that you pay very close attention to those negative signs. Remember that if you're subtracting a negative, you're actually going to be adding. How did you do with this one? Do you have any little integer errors that you need to correct? I'd like you to try this one completely on your own. Pause the video now and come back when you found the slope. You'll see that this slope has a 0 for its denominator. This is an unusual thing to see in math because we can't divide something by 0. When we get this in a slope calculation, we know that this line must be a vertical line. The slope, since it's dividing by 0, is actually undefined. We called it infinity earlier on because we know that a vertical line has a slope that is so steep we can't even calculate it. So we call it undefined or infinity. It's time for you to go and practice some more slope calculations using the formula. Good luck with your practice.